Hello.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Ryan with American Income Life Insurance Company. We spoke about the no-cost benefits and child safe ID kits endorsed through the International Union Police Association.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, is Mary here?
Yeah, she's on.
All right. So they have me using my computer for quality control and to save some time. Do you mind if we sit at your kitchen table near an outlet?
Sure.
All right. Do you need me to take off my shoes?
You're good. You're good.
Alrighty.
Hey, Mary.
So they have me running around like crazy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give you the quick version.
You ain't gonna try to sell me nothing, are you?
Well, see, my job is just to deliver the no-cost benefits and just go over the additional benefits that you are entitled to should you qualify.
Okay.
What you do with the information is entirely up to you.
All right.
All right. So while I get this set up, are y'all from the area?
Yeah, we recently moved.
Oh.
Here we recently moved back, should I say? So originally, yeah, we're from here.
Okay. Where'd you move here from?
Ohio.
Oh, where about?
Cleveland.
Cleveland. I once went a little bit north of Cincinnati for a Renaissance fair.
Okay.
But, never spending time in the cities.
Yeah, you gotta check it out sometime.
Yep. So about when did y'all move here?
We've been down here for about 2 years now.
2 years. Do you know the neighbors really well?
No, I pretty much stay to myself.
Well, what about with your kids? Do they have any friends in the area whose parents you know?
They go play with some little dude. I ain't a big fan of the little dude. He's one of those little grown kids.
Oh.
What he got my son into?
Yeah, yep. I feel like every kid at some point will have one of those friends.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me tell you exactly what my job is. First, I'm going to deliver your no-cost benefits and child safe ID kits, and then I'm going to go over some additional benefits that you're entitled to if you qualify.
Okay.
Now, this is a two-part program. The first part protects your children when something happens to them, and the second part of the program protects your children when something happens to you.
Okay.
So my company, American Income, works with 20,000 different unions, credit unions, and associations to handle the additional benefits for their members. Now, because of our relationship with the International Union of Police Associations, you actually have access to some of the exclusive benefits that groups like police and firefighters have had access to for years.
Oh yeah, I like that.
All right, so this video right here will give you a quick introduction into the family, or into the company.
Deliver your valuable benefit package, including the child safe kits you requested. American Income Life is a...
All right. Get this to my next screen here real quick. Alrighty, so here is your child safe ID kit. Now, I'm sure you know other families that have children, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so this kit, through my company, American Income, has all of the information that the police will need in case a child goes missing to help find them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can only get these kits from a visit from somebody like me. I have one of these for each of your kids.
Nice.
And it's very simple to fill out. Has a spot on the front, so if you have multiple kids, you can tell which one is which just by looking at the front. So normally doesn't get stuck in there. And then just a place for all of their basic information. Anything like their height and weight or their blood type that you may not know right off the top of your head, you can always get in contact with their pediatrician for that.
Okay.
There's a spot to list any distinguishing features, so braces, glasses, beauty marks, scars, or anything like that, and you can just shade on the area right here where it is on the body. You can attach a piece of DNA, so like a hair follicle or a fingernail clipping, so that way they don't have to go looking through combs and hairbrushes trying to find a sample of your child's DNA in case they go missing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a place right here for your child's fingerprints. It comes with a strip with ink. It gets very messy, so you may want to do this in your kitchen or in a bathroom, somewhere with a sink so you can clean it up easily.
Okay.
And there's a spot for a recent photo here. Just try and keep the picture updated every 6 months to a year is what's recommended. Now, every time you turn on the news, you hear about human trafficking, kidnappings, children running away from home. So if one of the kids that you knew were to go missing, wouldn't you want their families to have this kit?
For sure.
Definitely. So because of our relationship with the International Union of Police Associations, you can actually get this kit out to up to 10 families that have children.
Oh, nice.
So,
let's get that out to my sister, yeah.
To your sister, okay. And who else?
Let's do my cousin Sean
Okay.
and Erica.
Okay. Who's Erica? Another cousin?
Yeah, that's my other cousin.
All right. Anyone else?
Joe.
And Joe. And who is Joe?
That's my cousin too, cousin Joe. We got the same name. We like Joe, hey, Joe.
That must have been confusing as a child, especially at family gatherings, family reunions, things like that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, with a name like Ryan, I actually didn't have to deal with that too much growing up, which is nice, but not all of my siblings were that lucky. All right. So your next no-cost benefit is the health service discount card. Because your group benefits can be changed or taken away, this no-cost benefit will help with saving you up to 60% on vision care, hearing aids, prescription drugs, and chiropractic services. Now this brochure right here has all of the enrollment information, including a toll-free number and a website in case you have any questions.
Nice.
Now I will set this here for you, and you can just check it out after I leave.
Okay.
All right. Now the next no-cost benefit is a accidental death and dismemberment benefit. So Joe, for you, this will pay you $1,000 should you lose a foot, a hand, or sight in one eye, and $2,000 for the loss of any two. Now Mary, this is a death benefit. So if Joe were to die in an accident, this would pay you $2,000.
Okay.
Now, I know that $2,000 isn't all the money in the world, but if Joe were to die in an accident, I'm sure you can see how the $2,000 would help, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. So that's what this is for. So Mary, just go ahead and sign here, acknowledging the benefits and that you're the beneficiary. And then Joe, go ahead and sign here, acknowledging the benefits and that Mary is a beneficiary.
Okay.
All right. Now on this, I also need to get 2 emergency contacts, just in case the 2 of you were to die together in a common accident. Now, it would be wise if they were local, over the age of 18, and living outside the home. So who would your first emergency contact be?
Let's go with my mom.
Your mom? Okay. And then the second one?
We'll do my uncle.
Your uncle. What's your uncle's name?
Uncle Jonathan.
Jonathan. Alrighty, let's get that in there for you. Now, Joe and Mary, I need your help with something. Could you help me out with something?
Sure.
All right. So my company, American Income, will gives me 10 of these that you can get out to, anyone that you know, just as a compliment. But basically, this doesn't cost them anything. It doesn't cost you anything. Worst case scenario, they get more insurance and you've helped me out.
All right.
All right. Now I'm just asking for an introduction. So who can I get these out to besides your emergency contacts? Because those are usually the low battery. Because those are usually the people that
closest.
Yeah.
So we
usually
could
the
get it
closest to
actually. I'm gonna give you this list with my softball team on it. That I play softball on the weekend. So let's get those guys, man. There's a bunch of old guys out there, playing athletics. It could cause for a bad situation.
Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
I think they can use some of that stuff. So I'll just give you this list.
Okay, so just yeah.
Yeah. So
The
it's
softball
15 people on the list. So you can call them all. And, yeah. So.
Okay. Well, the last person that I sat with only had about 3 people that they were able to get this out to. They just moved to the area, didn't know anyone, so I can just transfer over those extra few for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So the reason that this is a 2-part program is because some families are dealing with serious gaps in their coverage. Now, the first concern, and that's why they sent me out here, so that way I can personally go over all of this with you and see what your needs are and how I can help you out with that.
Mm-hmm.
So the first concern is funeral and final expenses. Have y'all ever had to plan a funeral?
Not really.
Not really? Well, many families are having to pay, on average, $14,000 for a funeral.
Sheesh.
And it's only going up. Within the next 20 years, it's looking at going to $30,000. So funeral homes want to be paid right away.
Mm-hmm.
And typically, if we have $14,000, we don't have it set aside for a funeral. It's usually set aside for a home, down payment, or something else, right?
I understand.
Yeah, definitely. So that is definitely a concern for people. The second concern is a paycheck loss. When a member dies, a paycheck usually dies with them. And which brings us to the third concern, which is their mortgage. Families typically will lose their home, whether they're renting or buying, after the sudden death of a breadwinner. You know the saying, you lose a spouse, you lose a house. Now, fourth concern that goes with that is children's protection. Now, benefits through an employer typically are not permanent, and they can leave your kids at risk. And an unexpected death could jeopardize your future's educational opportunities for them. So, it's definitely something that, concerns a lot of families. Fifth concern are co-pays, deductibles, and lost wages. Now, health insurance will pay the doctors. Doctors, last I checked, are doing pretty well off, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Exactly. But members lose wages due to the time off from work and out-of-pocket expenses. Because if you were in the hospital, Joe, where's Mary most likely?
Right there with me.
Right there with you. So she's not working, so you'll have the loss of wage. So definitely a concern. The sixth concern is a loss in pension and retirement accounts. Now, an unexpected situation can create dramatic pension reductions and sometimes take it away completely. Yeah, not a fun situation for anyone involved. And the seventh concern is terminal illness, especially cancer. Now, according to the American Cancer Society, men have a 1 in 2 chance of developing or dying from cancer. Women, we're a little bit more lucky. It's only 1 in 3. But still, that's pretty scary to think about.
Hell yeah.
And also, medical expenses are the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States, specifically due to cancer. Now, the last concern is affordability. We sit down with some people that are making $7 an hour and others that are making $47 an hour. Some are working tons of overtime and others are laid off. They wanted this program to be affordable for everyone. Now, Joe, say you were going to go into work tomorrow and your boss were to come up to you and say, hey, Joe, things are going really great. So, kind of as a thank you for all of your service and help with getting things as good as they're going, we're going to start paying you 41 hours worth of work instead of just 40. Now, with that extra hour, are you and Mary going to go out and buy matching Ferraris?
No, I wish.
Are y'all going to start construction on your dream home?
Probably not.
No? All right. Well, on the flip side, if you were to go into work tomorrow and your boss were to come up to you and tell you, hey, Joe, things have been kind of slow lately, but rather than laying off you or any of your coworkers, we're just going to send everyone home early on Friday. So instead, you'll be getting paid for 39 hours instead of 40. Now, with that loss of 1 hour, are you going to have to cancel cable?
Probably not.
Are you going to have to cancel dentist appointments?
No.
Take food off the table?
Probably not.
Exactly. And 1 hour's difference really doesn't make any changes. So, I did this earlier. That brings us to our final no-cost benefit, the needs analysis. Now, I'm just going to ask you a few health questions and put them into my system here. And if it has a recommendation, then I'll go over those with you. If there are no recommendations, then there's nothing to go over.
All right.
All right. Do you want me to just skip over this? Or? All right, so any terminal illness, cancer, internal cancer in the past 2 years?
No.
Insulin diabetes?
No.
Cardiovascular disease such as heart attack, stroke, peripheral vascular disease? Currently using oxygen?
Nope.
Terminal illness?
Nope.
Alzheimer's?
Nope.
Have any of you used any form of tobacco in the last 12 months?
It's been about 12 months, so no.
No. Has it been about 12 months or 12 months?
It's been 12 months.
It's been 12 months? Okay. All right. Anyone currently on probation or parole?
No, we're not that dangerous.
Arrested or convicted of a DUI?
Nah.
All right. Do you currently rent or own?
Well, we're in the process of buying.
Okay. All right.
Yep. We owe $100,000 on the mortgage.
$100,000. Wow. All right. Let's get this in my system then. And about how much longer do you have left to pay on that mortgage?
20 years or so left.
20 years. that in. All right, so before I go over your benefits, I have this mandatory read off for you. Now, rather than reading this whole thing, let me just summarize it for you. What it's basically saying is that as I'm going over the benefits, you're nodding your head saying, wow, these are some really great benefits and I can see why they approved this and why everyone's doing this. Then go ahead and apply today while I'm out here. Now on the flip side, if as I'm going over the benefits, you're nodding your head saying, you know, these are really great benefits, but they just don't feel a need for me and my family right now, then I'm actually going to ask you not to apply. Okay. Either way, yes or no, that decision does have to be made while I'm out here during your service period, in fairness to all the other members that are waiting to enroll. Now, they feel that they can do it this way because everything has already been checked, rechecked, and approved by more than 20,000 different groups to handle their additional benefits. And they've set this up to be an easy yes or no. Either way, yes or no, that decision does have to be made today. And whatever you do decide to do, they do still want to have your opinion on this officer report form, which is kind of like my report card. So it's important that you listen and ask any questions. So, Joe, do you promise to stop me if you have any questions?
Of course.
All right, and Mary, you too?
Oh, don't worry, she will.
Okay, good. Alrighty, so let me get this pulled up real quick. All right.
Yeah, my neighbors, that's my crazy brother.
There's always that one, right? All right, so I'm just going to go over your benefits with you using an illustration. Okay. So at your current job, let's call this job A. At job A, you're making $1,050 per week, and you have all of your normal group benefits. Now, Joe, say you were to go into work tomorrow and find out that there is another job that is opened up. And let's call this job B. Now, with job B, you have all of the same group benefits, the same responsibilities, the same coworkers, the ones you like, the ones you don't like. They're all the same, and everything else is the same. But you're making $1,020 a week, or about an hour's wage difference. But what if that 1 hour could eliminate all of your concerns? So, the first concern has to do with your funeral and final expenses. Now, I'll let this video explain more.
Is one of the most beautiful and valued things in life. For this reason, saying goodbye to a loved one can be difficult. And even more so when we are not prepared.
All right. So, American Income is actually going to provide $15,000 for this need. Now, the Freedom of Choice certificate has been set up to take care of this burden for your family. They're using a whole life policy to fund your freedom of choice, so that way it's there when, not if, you need it. Because there's a 100% chance that you're going to need this at some point, right?
Sure.
Exactly. So this will also help to protect any existing insurance or savings that your family may have. Now, at your current job, you don't have this. Now, Mary, when Joe dies, obviously you're going to miss him, right? Now, after a few weeks, you're going to start to miss that paycheck too. So, American Income is going to give you $180,000 when that happens. Now, Mary, this will give you and the children $30,000 for 60 months to replace Joe's income. Now, this will be reviewed, renewed, and updated every 10 years. But, Mary, I'm sure you can see how this would help having 5 years of income at that time, right? All right. So, other than income protection, the next thing that families want to secure is their home. You know, like I mentioned earlier, we've all heard that saying, lose a house, lose a spouse. So, American Income is actually going to provide you with $100,000 of mortgage protection, or mortgage coverage. Because typically, if you die during your working years, it's because of an accident, right? So because of that, to help get you the best rate and get you the best value, this is funded by an accidental death benefit. Now, with your current job, you don't have this. The next concern has to do with your children's future education. So American Income is going to give you $100,000 or $50,000 for each of your 2 children. And this money is set up to give your children a head start in life. With your current job, you don't have this. Also included is a special $10,000 life insurance policy for each of your children 18 and under that qualify. Now, when they turn 21, they can actually convert this to 5 times that amount, or $50,000 of permanent life insurance with no health questions. Now, how old is your oldest?
What, 8?
8? Okay, so between the age of 8 and 21 is 13 years. A lot can happen in that time.
For sure.
And, your health can change in 13 years without even realizing it, right? So your children are going to thank you down the line for having the foresight of getting it set up for them. Now, the next benefit is to help out with any income concerns if you were to be in an accident. Now, this benefit will pay up to $100 for, every time that you go in for a bump, a bruise, bee sting, any type of accident or injury. And if you have to stay overnight in the hospital, it'll pay you $200. Or double that amount for intensive care, or $400 per day. Now, with your current job, you don't have this. Now, if you were to die in an accident, not only would it, shock your family, but it would also stop your pension and Social Security accumulation. So, this benefit will pay the surviving spouse or the children an additional $20,000 to $100,000 that pays out immediately depending on the type of accident.
Nice.
With your current, this coverage actually goes for both of you to protect both of you. With your current job, you don't have this. Another important feature of this program is the terminal illness benefit. So if you were to be diagnosed with a terminal illness such as cancer, you actually have access to half of your freedom of choice and income protection while you're still alive. Now the remainder will go to your family, of course, once you pass away. So Joe, for you, it'll be $97,500 that would be available to you. And for Mary, you would have $34,500 available to help put your family in the best financial situation possible while you're still alive.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you don't have any of this with your current job. Now, my company, American Income, has been around for 70 years and has an A+ financial rating. Now, all of these benefits are yours. They're permanent and portable, unlike group benefits, which can be changed or taken away. So if you leave your job or you retire, you get to keep these.
Nice.
Additionally, if you are on a qualified layoff, it'll cover your benefits for 3 months. And if you're involved in a strike, then it will cover your benefits for 12 months. So that way you get to keep all of these. Now, Joe and Mary, if you were to go into work today and you had to choose between these 2 jobs, which one would you take?
Well, B, for sure.
Okay, well, why would you choose B if you're making more money over here with job A?
I mean, I'm just getting so much more, benefits for my family.
Exactly, that's what everyone says. Now, what I have just shown you is what my benefit software is recommending for, the basic program to help you with your family's concerns. There is one other option that you have that, if you qualify, that you can choose. It's recommending that you go to a preferred freedom of choice for $31,000, which will protect your family from any inflation increases, and it actually gets you a better deal. Now, this is only an additional $12 per week for the inflation adjustment. Now, do you want to go with the basic program for 1 hour's wage, or about $30 per week, or would you like to do a little bit more for your family and get the inflation protection built in for $42 per week?
I don't know. Can you just leave that there? I'm going to think about it. And, because I got to think about it, and I'll give you a call and get you squared.
And most people say that, and I understand completely, but like I did explain, and I do understand completely, but like I had already explained, is that this decision does have to be made while I'm out here, in fairness to all of the other people that are waiting to enroll. So, I see that you see the value in the program and that you like it, and that you really see a need for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm sure if this were provided to you for free, you would jump at the chance to get it, right? Well, now it's really just a matter of, is this something that could easily fit in your budget? Do you feel like this $30 or even $42 a week is something that might take food off the table?
No, I think I could do like the basic one.
The basic? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's smart. I would choose the basic myself just to start off with, get my foot in the doors, and you can always add more coverage later on down the road. So we can definitely get you started with the basic coverage. Now, I need water. Huh? Now, as I was explaining before, now, I do have some basic health questions because, like I did say, you do need to qualify for these. So I'm just going to ask you a few health questions just to see where you're starting at, okay? All right. Has any of the proposed ever been treated or advised for treatment for alcoholism, alcohol abuse, including AA?
Nope.
No? All right. Has anyone ever used drugs not prescribed by a physician, such
Nope.
as cocaine? No? Any proposed insured ever had their driver's license suspended or revoked because of a moving violation or been arrested?
Nope.
All right. Has any proposed flown within the last 2 years or intend to fly in the future as other than a passenger on a scheduled airline?
Nope.
All right. Has anyone within the last 2 years participated in any of the following activities: auto, motorcycle, or boat racing, parachute diving, skin scuba, or skydiving?
Nope.
All right. Ever been advised to take tests or not done so, or received the results and been diagnosed as having received treatment for high blood pressure, chest pain, heart attack, stroke, any heart, blood, or circulatory disorder?
Nope.
All right. Has anyone ever been treated for any of the following conditions: diabetes or other endocrine disorder,
Nope.
paralysis, epilepsy, mental disease or disorder, other nervous system or brain disorder?
Nope.
Ever had arthritis or any injury to or trouble with your back, knees, or any of your joints?
Nope.
No? All right. Now, to the best of your knowledge and belief, do you have any physical impairment or departure from good health?
Mm-mm.
No? All right. Have you ever been advised to take tests or not done so for having treatment for cancer, tumor, or unexplained masses?
Nope.
All right. Ever been rejected for life or medical insurance?
Nope.
All right. In the last 5 years, have you had a physical examination?
Nope.
You haven't been to a doctor?
I've had a physical.
You've had a physical? All right.
I go to a little clinic up the street, so
Okay, perfect.
it's not like my primary care or nothing, but I do get a physical.
Okay. That's good at least that you see somebody periodically to get everything checked out. Any medical treatments, including prescription medications?
Nope.
Ever been hospitalized in 5 years?
Nope.
No? All right. Currently a resident in a nursing home or been diagnosed with having a terminal illness, including Alzheimer's?
Nope.
All right. Have you ever been treated for any of the following: asthma, emphysema, sleep apnea, or other respiratory disorder?
Nope.
Ulcer, colitis, or digestive tract disorder?
Nope.
Cirrhosis, hepatitis, or other liver disorder or blood disorder? Received a blood marrow transplant?
Nope.
Kidney, prostate, urinary bladder, or other disorder?
Nope.
All right. Disease of the breast, uterus, or ovaries?
Nope.
Sure would hope not. Rheumatoid arthritis or any other musculoskeletal disorder?
Nope.
Loss of hearing or sight?
Nope.
Any AIDS or AIDS-related conditions?
No.
All right. Ever been tested for AIDS or HIV?
I've been tested. I don't have it. But I've been-
Positive?
No.
Never tested positive. Good. All right. Anyone smoke cigarettes or use tobacco in any other form?
No, I was gonna say I love Tabasco sauce though.
Yeah.
No, but I haven't smoked in over a year or so.
Okay, good. All right. And you said that you quit just over a year ago?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And has anyone used marijuana in the past year?
No.
No. All right. So I'm not an underwriter, but based on what I'm seeing here, you should be able to qualify for the benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Now, guys, this is the Q&R checklist. This is a mandatory checklist that we go over with all of our members, and it explains the enrolling process. Now, the first thing that it talks about on this is how the benefits are handled. So this program is set up on a once-a-month computerized deduction through your banking system. and having it done this way gets you a discounted rate. So the program will only be $130 per month, and it can be handled anytime between the 23rd and the 6th of the month. Now, which date is best for you?
Let's go like to 10.
It'll need to be between the 23rd and the 6th.
Oh, sorry about that.
Okay.
Well, let's just leave it. 23rd.
The 23rd? Okay. All right. Do you want me to go over all of this?
Yeah, let's just go down a couple more.
All right. So now, because this is a member-owned program, once it's issued, it cannot be taken away by American Income, your employer. And there is an application process, which we started with the health questions. Now, because you are a non-smoker, I will need to take an oral specimen, and I will need to have you sign a consent form for HIPAA reasons. And, it'll also go along with an HIV consent form that ensures the results are sent to you at home privately in case of a positive HIV result.
Okay.
Now, in addition to checking for nicotine use, it will also test for various health issues as well as drugs, both legal and illegal. All right. And the enrollment process takes anywhere between 2 to 8 weeks. If you're accepted, you will receive your policies and a congratulatory letter welcoming you to AIL. And if you're denied, you will receive today's deposit back, and you could write to American Income and request SWAT. All right.
I'm sorry, I didn't even go. Mary, get this girl some water.
I should have brought my water in here with me. All right. So at some point in everyone's life, they will become uninsurable and will be denied for insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once you are uninsurable, you typically can't get insurance again. Now, this is usually due to age, health, or habits.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you are approved, there are 3 possible outcomes. The first is that you're standard risk, meaning that you have minor or no health issues. The second option is that you're somewhere between perfect health and the uninsurable line. Now, because the groups that we work with want everyone to be able to be approved, they created a category called the special risk. Now, with this category, you will pay the exact same actually, as somebody else would with the same health profile that you have. So, obviously, the closer to the uninsurable line you get, the more it's going to be for the program. It's kind of like car insurance if you think about it. Somebody with a perfect driving record isn't going to pay as much for their car insurance as somebody that's had a lot of speeding tickets, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so the third option is the counteroffer. Now, they offer this to people that they typically in the past would not have covered, just as a last chance to get them covered. And usually it'll cost just a few more dollars per month. Now, if the program comes back any different from what we have discussed today, I will give you a call and let you know. Now, if that were to happen, would the few extra dollars a month be a problem?
That should be good.
Okay. All right. So, Joe and Mary, almost everyone takes advantage of this program, like you, because of the value, the small cost compared to the many benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And the many benefits. Now, it's very rare, but sometimes a member will cancel. Could be a week, a month, or a year later. And we always end up seeing these same people during their next service period 2 or 3 years later. And they're upset because they're no further ahead than they were. And they usually want to reapply for the same benefits they had, except now the program is going to be more expensive because they're older. It goes back to the rates are based on age, health, and habits. Worse yet, some people can't even get back into the program because their health has changed. So really the point is that this is not a short-term fix. This is a long-term solution.
Mm-hmm.
And the longer you're in the program, the more the value. Really should have brought my water. Now, I feel like I'm going to start coughing again. But the longer you're in the program, the more the value.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important that you keep this very important program in place. If the $130 isn't comfortable for you right now, let's get that changed so that way it is comfortable for you. How does everything feel?
That's good. It's
Okay.
130 should be good.
Okay. Great. Well, then it's very important that you keep this very important program in place, and the next time I see you, you'll be really happy that you did.
Alrighty.